research company before it got took over and turned into a criminal organization instead. Alright, angry mode's on. We got this on. Well, enough about me chit-chatting and resting my hands for a minute. It is time to throw some hands on the DM. And of course, we're going to be using Prokop for this run. Of course, we're going to have to play like we're doing this at a marathon now because we are not going to be resetting at all. So we got these 4 characters. Rick Norton and Metal Frame are both unlockable. You can encounter them during any part of the story or access a code to get them. So we're going to start, and time's going to start the moment I get control of my character after I skip this dialogue. And off we go. Yeah, I should have tried to strangle him. I should have done the super throw instead. I do have to be careful though, because it's pretty easy to screw up on the super throws and get regular throws instead. Now, one thing I have interestingly learned about this game is that when you throw enemies that get hit by other thrown enemies don't take any damage, but yet the thrown enemy takes like damage equivalent to super throw damage. Alright, not bad. We got that underneath 50 minutes for once. So right there, we wound up doing more damage to than normal with by throwing that Fnord right into that squash. Yeah, some of these enemies have very high high priority grabs or attacks. So yeah, the ability to inflict more damage to thrown enemies when you throw them onto other ones is pretty neat because this game does have you fight bosses in duos sometimes, and that actually helps out when you want to get more damage out of them too. Alright, coming up, Spart, aka Connor. He's our first boss here. We take this route. You have to be careful because putting it in fast inputs can wind up making you miss your super throw. Like that just now. Alright, nice. That's underneath 3 minutes for once. Now we can't skip that scene until he starts talking. So basically the route we're going to do is it allows us to get Prokop's good ending, because that means his sister survives rather than dies. Now, depending on your routes, you can either get a character's good ending or its bad ending, depending on your route choice. I meant to get all 3 of them. Unfortunately, the mutants didn't line up properly. Yeah, there's Jesse right there. He'll be our boss coming up. So we didn't take any damage, so we don't need to pick up that first aid kit. Yeah, unfortunately, Prokop is pretty slow, unfortunately. There's not much you can do about that, unfortunately. Now, believe it or not, we can actually find Norton down here. But since we're not going to be doing that in the actual run, there's no need. Get to back off. Alright, that was a flawless Jesse fight. Alright, we're going to take the upper path. Alright, that wasn't bad. So normally if you're going to get Orbot, you would need to find all the scientists. But we're not going to do that in this run. We're going to detonate one of our specials coming up. This guy out here, then we get the mutants out here. Yeah, these mutants are actually created from the Zika virus. That green stuff on the bottom is actually Zika. Down you go, mister. Alright, we saved quite a bit of time. Oh wow, we're actually underneath 10 minutes for once. Okay, now we gotta fight Mutant Amy now. This punk's have turned his sister into a monster. Alright, not bad. Yeah, if you brought Dick/Flynn over here, he would go into his super form and destroy the entire lab in response to what just happened with Amy. Make sure we take out all the enemies as we go. Yeah, try to break out of that. Alright, we're on our way. Let's go. All aboard! Come on, that should have hit. That drop kick should have hit him. Sometimes you can't get. Sometimes you can break the door, sometimes you can't. Alright, we'll break this door down and let the countdown end. Now, normally you would destroy the computers and go to the ruined island, but since we can't beat Calsonic that quickly, we're going to ignore that route. Instead, we're going to let it crash land instead. Take us to the city. Unfortunately, that also means having to deal with the Rustler enemies. Alright, we're moving forward. Yeah, that's bizarre. We might as well just call it 64th Street. There we go. Where's that door hasn't broken open yet? There's Norton, he automatically joins up. And pirates must have been a big thing back then, because they were being included like in Donkey Kong, this game, among other things. Alright, we'll use the bomb to get rid of these guys. Going in, we'll pick up a health item to get ready for the fight with the wrestlers. They're pretty difficult to fight. One of them has a large health bar, whereas the other has like semi-good meter. Unfortunately, they both hit like freight trucks. Come on, I grabbed it. Alright. Alright, the purple one's gone. Same as this dude. Alright, nice. Alright, we got lucky with that fight. Only one continue. Alright, so this boss fight's going to probably be a lot longer because, unfortunately, we can't grab him as much as we did with the other ones. Yeah, we're going to attack him and force him to change routes. We're going to attack as these come up. It's not very fast, but it's a little bit more reliant than trying to grab them. We have to attack before he comes right near us. Ooh, that was close. That takes away some of his spin, at least. More to go. Alright, one more attack. There we go. Nice. Very nice indeed. Not a bad Durish fight. No damage at all, too. Here the ninja. Trigger our second SP. Alright, no more enemies to deal with. And we're actually on a good pace. We don't usually get this kind of time. Alright. So, thanks to the fact we didn't have to fight, we didn't let Dervish go. He didn't kill that scientist, and we didn't have to fight him right there at that slant. Alright, so now we're in Dutchland Movavia's base. Come on, I broke out of that. Yeah, my face squash. Come on. Yeah, with the right press time, you can literally break out of the grabs there. Oh, so they're actually susceptible to jump attacks. Alright, here we go. Oh, come on, I grabbed him. Talk about rip-off. Come on. Oh, time to fight Kira no Nino. Those two are a lot more difficult to deal with this time around. Ah, I trapped myself. Okay, you need to be careful because you can't get trapped there. Alright, Onito goes down first for once. Ah, not another continue loss. We're actually 1 minute faster this time. Now, we haven't really seen any cutscenes since we started, but that's fine. On the contrary, hope has arrived. In the form of our character Prokop. There's no abandoning hope here. Why do they make jump attacks so bad in this game? Alright, so we got the Orbots coming up next. Alright, blue one's down. Nice! Very nice indeed. Woo-wee! Alright, we're actually on a pretty good pace right now. We're going to be in the 40s, but... Alright. Unfortunately, we get some unskippable dialogue here. Alright, time to fight Klombok. It's time for him to pay for his crimes. Yeah, we lost a little bit of time. Normally you can stay on him, and if you stay on him long enough, you can get him down pretty far, but if we super thrown him to death, it would have made it a little bit more difficult to win against. Alright, Tybalt's coming up next. Once we lose control of our character, that's going to be time. But he's got a large amount of life bar, and he's got 3 supers to run against us. Whew, just in time. Whew, that was close. Oh yeah, nice. All right, 41:38, nice. A new world record for Prokop. Man, I wasn't expecting to get below sub 2042 today. Woohoo! Sub 42. Man, I just got sub 43 and now I got sub 42.